Um, good morning. It's past 1 in the morning. It's April 15, 2019. It's a very ungodly hour, and I decided to make a vlog on how to pass the LET or the licensure examination for teachers. Today, or I will focus on how to prepare for the examination. By the way, I will introduce myself. Allow me to introduce myself first. I'm Paul Vincent J. Geranio. I am a licensed teacher. I am an LPT. I have been teaching for almost 10 years now. I finished my bachelor's degree in secondary education major in English at West Visayas State University College of Education. Then I finished my master's degree in English as a second language from the University of the Philippines. That's UP in the Visayas. And now I'm in my third year at the Juris Doctor degree at the College of Law of the University of San Agustin here in Iloilo City. So I will focus on how to prepare for the examination, okay? How to prepare for the LET or, well, civil service or any exam that you want to take. For example, for if you are taking the LET, if you are a fresh graduate, that will give you around well, example, your graduation is in March, April, May, June, July, August, September. That will give you around 6 months to prepare. And I don't think 6 months is enough, right? Because of the many things that you have to study, okay, for the LET. Your examination is composed of two parts, right? The first part is the professional education part, and the second part is your if you are taking the LET in the secondary, right? For the secondary, for the SED, BSED graduate, it will be composed of two parts: the foundation of education part, and the foundations of education part, and the second is your major subject. But for graduates of elementary education, you will only have your no, I think it's three, right? Professional education, general education, and your major, right? So three areas, okay? So that's a lot. Then for for graduates of elementary education, you will have two: professional ed and your general education. The coverage of general education is so vast, so extensive. You know, as the term general suggests, you will have your math there, you will have your English there, which is basically composed of literature, you have your grammar part and your reading part. Your reading part takes a lot of takes a lot of time to answer, because you cannot just answer right away. You have to read long selections, right? And you will also have your professional education part, which is basically analysis, right? So covering all these things requires strategy, because, well, you are racing against time, right? So you have to make a plan, right? Okay, so I will give you at least well, the five steps, basic steps, or five tips on how to prepare for the examination. First is, as I was talking about, give enough time to study. Enough time to study. You cannot just study all the things that you need to study in 1 or 2 months. It needs probably at least 6 months, right? So give enough time to study. Do not procrastinate. Okay, we don't like procrastination here. As as people would always tell, you know, old people would always tell you, procrastination is the thief of time. Okay, you have to make a schedule. You have to make a schedule. Like, for example, April and May, you will study general education. So you have 2 months. Then the 2 months, you have to further subdivide it into English, social studies, that includes history, your constitution, your current events, economics, so on and so forth. You have also to include, you have also to give time to study concepts in Filipino, and science as well, right? So, for example, so April and May, you will study general education. Then June to July, another 2 months, you will study professional education subjects. So you have to further subdivide the 2 months, right? To give time to all the subjects covered by the general education field, by the professional education field, such as educational measurement and evaluation. You have your educational psychology. You have your foundations, historical foundation of education, sociocultural foundations of education, psychophilo foundations of education, all these things. You give professional education 2 months, that's June and July. Then August and September, your major subject. Okay? Well, at least 2 months for your major subject. I assume that you are familiar with the concepts, okay, with all the important concepts, the salient points of your major subjects. Oh, this is your major, right? So it is expected that you have a deeper understanding of the important concepts. In, for example, for English majors, you have your linguistics, right? You have your structure of English. You have your literary criticism, stylistics. As an English major, well, at least you know the basic points in these subjects, right? So give yourself another 2 months at September. So again, give enough time to study. Do not procrastinate. If you procrastinate, I don't know what will happen to you. Okay, the second thing that I want to tell you is that you have to make sure that you have enough space to study. Okay, you have to find a suitable place vis-a-vis your preference. Okay, because we all have different preferences as far as studying is concerned, right? In my case, I don't like studying outside with all the people going around. I don't like that. Okay? I usually study in my room because I want a quiet place. And when I study, I always want to say it orally. The things that I memorize, I have to verbalize everything. Nothing will enter into my system if I will only read it, or I will only read the text. No, I have to verbalize it. On the other hand, there are people who want to study or who like studying in a coffee shop, right? So they spend a lot of time, as well as money, in studying inside coffee shops or in co-working spaces. That's not my preference. So we all have different preferences. So you have to make sure that you have enough space to study. Remove all the distractions. Okay? Next, number 3. Use flowcharts and diagrams. Visual aids, back in the College of Education, we were taught that visual aids will make things easy to understand. And teachers like using visual aids to make things clearer, to make things more manageable, especially complicated concepts like processes and difficult difficult concepts, right? So you have to use flowcharts or diagrams, sometimes mnemonics, especially if there is a need to memorize, like enumeration and things like that. Okay? Next, number 4, practice on old exams. For those who are taking the LET, get hold of previous exams. 2011 LET, 2012 LET, 2013 LET. Better if you have last year's LET, right? Well, we all know that the questions are usually recycled, right? So practice on old exams. Get hold of previous licensure exam for teachers test questions. What is the importance of this? If you have these previous exams, you will have an idea how questions are formed, how questions are framed, okay? So that things will be very easy for you. You can figure things out because you already know how the exams are structured. And number 5, once in a while, do group study. Invite your friends, your classmates back in college, back in your classmates in your teacher education institutions, like when I was preparing for the LET, I would always invite my classmates to join me. So we would meet in one place. We would answer the questions together, and we would rationalize the answers together. So it's a group effort. What I do not know, probably they know. What they do not know, I know. So we collaborate, we help each other. So these are the 5 things that I want to share with you as far as preparing for the licensure examination for teachers or civil service examination is concerned. I don't want to make this long because I don't want to burden you thinking a lot of things in just one sitting. Okay? But I promise that in my vlogs later, I will give you more. So thank you for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe so that you will be updated.